Have you ever looked at a map while traveling and realized you just can't reach the most beautiful waterfall, beach, or castle? The bus doesn't run, taxis cost as much as a plane wing, and the tour takes you hoboing across Europe. Sound familiar? Then you need a car. I know what you're thinking. It's complicated, expensive, you need a deposit, I'm scared. But it's really not that scary, and I'm here to dispel all the myths. This is my complete car rental guide for dummies and pros alike. And today, as an iPhone example, we'll use the stunning Madeira. The car rental algorithm, both on Madeira and worldwide, is basically the same. The first thing I do when searching for a car is visit an aggregator website. This is very convenient, as it allows me to compare prices from several providers in one place and choose the best option for my budget. When booking a car, it's not enough to know a couple of trusted low-cost airlines. The company's fleet of available cars is always limited, after all. Sometimes it happens that a cheap rental company's affordable cars are all sold out to other tourists. And in this situation, it may turn out that the cheapest available car isn't from a low-cost airline, but instead from a reputable brand. It's best to book cars in advance, of course. The earlier, the cheaper. I usually look 2 weeks or a month in advance. That's when the price is best. It's best to look for a car right at the airport. You might find a slightly cheaper car somewhere else on the island. But when you consider how much time, money, and effort you'll spend driving to the middle of nowhere with your suitcases, you'll realize that renting directly from the airport is the best option. We've sorted out the timing. Let's move on with our selection. This is how you usually choose a car on a website. Photos and model are actually unimportant. Photos on websites are only shown as an example of the car class. Even if you've chosen a nice gray BMW, you could easily be given a dented white Citroen. On the other hand, it's a great quest. Guess what surprise on wheels you'll get? I wonder if you can rent a car like this in a Madeira? Wow! Maurice's garage certainly looks impressive. It would be perfect for Instagram photos, but it's clearly out of our budget. Although the roads in a Madeira are such that you can safely cut through even an antique car without modern suspension. What's really pleasing is the quality of the road surface. Despite numerous switchbacks, precipitation, and everything else, the roads are simply amazing. The main thing when booking a car is to pay attention to two things: gearbox and insurance. Cars with manual transmissions are usually half the price in Europe, but you should realistically assess your skills and the terrain. For example, driving a mountainous Madeira with a manual transmission is likely to be a challenge. For example, in Tenerife, I easily drove a car with a manual transmission, but I wouldn't recommend driving a Madeira even to my worst enemy. As for insurance, it's definitely better to get it. However, it will increase your bill by half. If you want to save money, you can use my Lifehack. The secret is that if you try hard enough, you can get insurance for free. And I use it regularly. I don't buy insurance from the rental company, but use the free travel insurance from the Visa Premium card, which not only covers your health but also protects your rental car from damage. It sounds tempting, but it has its caveats. Firstly, it has an unconditional deductible of €250. If you hit your car, the visa will cover all your expenses except €250. However, if you do the math, it's still cheaper than paying roughly the same amount to the insurance company. Secondly, you have to pay the bank monthly for the premium card. However, if you've already watched my videos about Croatia, you probably already know how to get such a premium card for free. And without a monthly fee. And don't forget one more fly in the ointment. If you don't buy insurance from the rental company, they'll block a deposit of 5 to 10% of the car's value on your credit card as collateral, which should be factored into your travel budget. Furthermore, in our reality, it's important to consider that the deposit amount falls within the bank's permitted monthly payment limits for international rentals. Finally, a small but important tip. Right in the rental company's parking lot, be sure to take detailed photos of the fuel level, any scratches, and the car's equipment. There have been cases where tourists were later forced to pay for a missing spare tire that wasn't even there in the first place. Arguing with the rental company without photo or video evidence is, unfortunately, practically useless. Now that you've decided on your choice, it's time to book. Open the website, choose the cheapest car, and immediately close the window. Your goal in all of this is simply to find the name of the rental company with the best deal. The price on the aggregator's website is usually the lowest, but it's still worth double checking. That's what I did before my trip to Madeira, and it paid off. The car I was looking for was found on the CL Wagon rental company's website. I checked it and found an additional promo code for a 15% discount that wasn't listed on the aggregator's website. So, this time I decided to book the car directly, which allowed me to save a little more. In terms of absolute prices, this wild Spanish cat with an automatic transmission cost me €24 per day. Of course, I could have gone crazy and gotten a cheaper, similar car like the one I rented in Tenerife. But there it was €12, while on Madeira it was a whopping 20. So, I don't see the point in saving. Really. You should use all these prices solely as a guide. All rental companies have dynamic pricing, depending on the season and the total number of bookings for a particular car class. For example, after I booked this car, the website price for similar cars automatically jumped by 20%. That's why I always recommend booking in advance. It's much cheaper than booking at the last minute. By the way, keep in mind that inexpensive rental companies on Madeira usually park their cars not at the airport, but at remote locations. So, after arriving, you should call the company immediately to have a free shuttle sent to the company's parking lot. It's not a long drive, about 5 minutes, but it's still worth considering when planning. It's an interesting island. Driving here is difficult. The roads are very narrow, and there are repairs every day. And yes, there were road repairs, but how can I explain it properly? Being stuck in traffic, in the mountains, among waterfalls, on a dream island, isn't torture, it's downright bliss. So I can't say the repairs were all that stressful. We've been a bit late with these auto life hacks. It's time for us to go and explore the island. Nastya, come on, take your foot off. What if the rental car guys are watching our video, and I don't have insurance? Well, why would they do that? I asked. Well, let's go explore the island. You won't see all this beauty in this video, though, so if you want to admire the island more, I invite you to watch my long and epic review of Madeira. See you there!